This book is called From Seed to Pumpkin. It's going to kind of tell you how you can grow your own pumpkin even. And this is the beautiful flower that it is before it's a pumpkin. You can see, like, this is the beginning of the flower, but this part right here is where the pumpkin would start growing if it got fertilized by bees. From seed to pumpkin. When spring winds warm the earth, a farmer plants hundreds of pumpkin seeds. And when you plant a seed, you dig a hole, you put the seed in, you cover it up with the dirt or the soil, and then you have to water it. So he's going to plant a whole bunch of seeds, not just one, a bunch. See, now here's some seeds under the ground. This is a worm. Worms are really important, actually, because they create air in the dirt. And then this is the roots that grow down, and the water that seeps into the soil gets sucked up like a straw into the roots, which allows this to grow and become a plant. Every pumpkin seed can become a baby pumpkin plant. Underground, covered with dark, moist soil, the baby plants begin to grow. As the plants get bigger, the seeds crack open, stems sprout up, roots dig down. Inside the roots are tubes. Water travels up these tubes the way juice goes up a straw. So these, I don't know if you can see that, these roots down here are like little straws. They're sucking up the water from the soil. And as the roots grow down, the sprout grows up and out of the ground. That's the part we're gonna see. We don't really see the roots a whole lot. In less than 2 weeks, that would be, well, 1 week is 7 days, so 2 weeks it would be 14 days. From planting time, green shoots, or those are called baby plants, poke up through the earth. These shoots grow into tiny seedlings. 2 leaves, called seed leaves, uncurl on each stem. They reach up towards the sun. So once those roots go down and start drinking up that water, the shoots, or the baby plants or seedlings, can start growing up and out towards the sun. Sunlight gives these leaves energy to make food. Like us, plants need food to grow, but green plants do not eat food as we do. Their leaves make the food. They make it out of the sunlight. To make food, plants need light, water, and air. Leaves catch the sunlight. So these leaves catch the sunlight. This wind is helping for the air. And they also need water on the soil, because the water goes up through these roots and helps make the food. Roots soak up rainwater, and little openings in the leaves let air in. Using energy from the sun, the leaves mix the air with water from the soil to make sugar. This feeds the plant, called photosynthesis. Soon, broad, prickly leaves with jagged edges unfold on the stems. These new leaves, like on pumpkin plants, are rough, they're prickly, they're pokey. But the seed leaves are much smoother and rounder. The seed leaves dry up. Now the new leaves make food for the pumpkin plant. So these are the little ones that dry up. Those ones were the soft ones. Now the big ones are growing. They're prickly. Each pumpkin stem has many sets of tubes. One tube in each set takes water from the soil up to the leaves so they can make sugar. The other tube in each set sends food back down so the pumpkin can grow. So sometimes these tubes are sending water up and they're sending sugar down. The days grow warmer. The farmer tends the pumpkin patch to keep weeds out. Weeds take water from the soil. Pumpkin plants need that water to grow. So if you ever see weeds growing around one of your plants, pull the weeds out, because the weeds are like little water hogs. They take up all the water that the plant actually needs. So we got to get rid of the weeds. Pumpkin plants don't stand up tall. They're not like a tree or a bush. As the stems grow longer, they sprawl all over the ground. Before long, twisted, tangled vines cover the pumpkin patch. See, so they don't grow up, they grow across the ground, like it's a vine. Soon, flower buds appear on the vines. After each bud opens, its orange petals grow bigger and bigger. They look like bright orange umbrellas. That's what a pumpkin flower looks like. During the heat of the day, the flowers close. Right? So they don't want to get like burned, or so they close up sometimes. They open again during the cool nights and early mornings. The bright orange flowers attract swarms of bees. The bees buzz around carrying yellow pollen from the male flowers to the female flowers. Now, pumpkins can grow. Okay, so we need those bees. The petals wither away. Where the flower bloomed, tiny, hard fruits began to grow. Hundreds of these cling to the vines. So where this petal used to be, this little bulb right here, is going to grow into what's going to be a pumpkin. The days grow hot all summer. The warm sun and the cool rain help the tiny fruit grow larger and larger. Those things, all summer long, they're just growing and growing and growing and growing. And summer is the season we just left. Now it's fall, remember? Fall is when they're ready and ripe. Soon summer's over. The corn stalks next to the pumpkin patch turn brown. Leaves on trees turn red, orange, and yellow. Pumpkins change color too. As they ripen, they change from green to yellow, then to orange. In just 4 months, small, flat, white pumpkin seeds have grown into big, fat, orange pumpkins. The pumpkins are ripe and round with lumps and bumps. They come in all sizes and shapes, and they're waiting in the autumn sun. Some of them get really big too. Some pumpkins will be carved into jack-o'-lanterns for Halloween. Some will be baked into pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving. Colorful leaves turn brown. Winter winds begin to blow, and soon the trees are bare. The farmer looks out over the pumpkin patch, where only a few dead vines remain. So the vines die in the winter. They don't last all winter long. That's why in the spring he has to plant them again. But when spring winds warm the earth once again, he will plant hundreds of pumpkin seeds, and once again they will grow from seed to pumpkin. And that's kind of what we call a life cycle. The life cycle of a pumpkin means that, okay, it starts off as a seed. You plant the seed. It grows into a pumpkin, right? Or a seedling, and then it gets bigger, and then it's a flower, and then it's on the vine, and then it gets pollinated, and then it grows bigger and bigger and bigger until it's ripe. And then you take the seeds out. You could plant the seeds again. And it just keeps happening over and over and over again. We call that a life cycle when that happens, okay?